much for joining me today. This is day number 1 in our 30 days of yoga. I'm Stephanie, and I really appreciate you being here for this journey. Today is going to be all about just dropping in, taking note of where you are, and just coming to the mat every day, committing to yourself and to some movement. Today we're going to start in a nice, comfy, seated position. So go ahead and meet me on your mat. You can begin by making sure both sits bones are firmly planted on the mat. If you don't like to cross your legs in normal Indian style, I always like to bring my left foot in and just place it on the floor in front of me, and then my right tucks right in front of it. Sit up nice and tall. Put your hands on your knees and go ahead and close your eyes. Beginning to notice how you're feeling today. The air quality around you. Noticing your breath. Trying to let go of all the thoughts. And whenever the thoughts do come, we just acknowledge them and let them continue to move on out of our minds. We don't let them stay for tea. We just let the thoughts come and go. It's like our breath, allowing it to gently move in and out. We're going to start with some nose circles. So instead of neck rolls, we're going to just take our nose in a giant circle. We're going to go 2 ways to the left, and then we're going to do 2 times to the right. So you can start looking to your right and take that nose all the way around. The biggest circle you can imagine yourself drawing. As slowly as you can articulate this movement. Our necks are very important. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the neck circle or the nose circles the other way. Feeling this all through the neck, the side of the neck, back of the neck, on the front. Beautiful. Go ahead and look down and interlace your hands behind the back of your head. And just give a gentle pull here while we breathe, stretching all down the top of the back. And go ahead and release and sit up. Put the left hand down beside of you and sweep the right arm up overhead. Little right side bend action. Warming up our spines. Gaze is towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Push up and come through center. Right hand plants, left hand sweeps up and over. For our left side body stretch. And beautiful push up back to center. Take your right wrist out in front of you. And pull with the left hand on those fingers. Stretching all through that right forearm, through the fingers, that hand and that wrist. Should feel really nice. Beautiful. Point them down. Gentle tug there on the front. Beautiful. Shake. Left hand out, fingers up. Pull with the right. And point those fingers down. Gentle little pull there. And interlace those hands. And point the palms towards the front of the mat here. And we're going to see if we can take them up overhead, interlace like this. How far up and back can you get them? Breathe. When we release our arms, we're going to open up to the right for right side twist. So just left hand goes on the right knee. Right hand is behind us. Allowing the inhales to lengthen our spine and the exhales to twist us deeper. So have those nice conscious breaths happening here. Chest is lifted, not hunched over, no rounding in the spine. We're going to come back to center, arms up and overhead. And let's open out to the left. So right hand to left knee, left hand behind us. Same things as the other side. The inhales allow you to grow taller through the spine. And the exhale allows you to deepen into your twist. Go ahead and come around to center. You're going to take both hands behind you. Just puff up through that chest, trying to lift it as high up towards the ceiling as you can get it. Beautiful. And we're going to walk our hands forward. A little forward fold action here. Trying to keep the spine long. We're not trying to round here. Keeping the spine long, the gaze forward. You can walk those hands out as far forward as you can get them. And let's go ahead and just walk over to the right. Breathe. And slowly walk over to the left. And go ahead and push back up to center. Now we're going to interlace our hands and take them up overhead again. And while we're sitting here, we're just going to play with this arm, upper body strength here and just rock side to side. So gently feeling these stretches through the side body, feeling the power through the arms held up like this. And noticing your breath. Noticing the thoughts that may be coming up right now. And just rocking left to right, smiling, getting our movement in today. Day number 1. Committed getting to 30 days. It's amazing. Oh, yes, go and release those hands. Now we're going to come over to all fours. So when we get here, we're going to make sure that our shoulders are over our wrists and our hips are over our knees. Our hips and our hands are about hip width apart. We're going to start with cat-cows here. So on your next inhale, go ahead and drop that belly and lift that chest, pushing through those shoulders. And on our exhale, we will tilt from the pelvis and round through our spine for our cat. And inhale, lift that chest up, drop that belly. And exhale, tilt that pelvis to round through that back. Inhale, lift that chest up. And exhale, round. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back to our neutral all fours here. We're going to tuck our toes and just try to hover our knees for a second. I'm going to count to 10. So go ahead and tuck those toes, lift those knees. And we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those knees. Let's go ahead and sit back on our toes here. Gentle toe stretch. I promise I will not keep you here long. Okay, just feel through the toes. Feel that stretch through the feet. Accept that we need to be here more. This is uncomfortable. Our toes can have flexibility and mobility just like the rest of our body, and we should give it to them. Go ahead and come back forward into our all fours position. You can go ahead and untuck those toes, and we're going to spin around to the right to try and see our right toes. Maybe wiggle those toes, letting us know that they are good. We are good. Everything's good. Back to center. Maybe look for the left toes. Maybe wiggle those left toes. Connecting that body and the mind together. So go ahead and walk your hands forward just a little bit. Walk those knees back, and we're coming down into puppy pose here. So allow your forehead to gently begin to come towards the mat. It may not touch. We are active through our shoulders right now, pressing hard to keep us lifted. We aren't melting our hearts down here. We're just feeling that extension through the shoulders. Nice deep breaths here. If you notice places that are tight, please send your loving breath to the tight spaces. Breathe. We're going to roll through to our Sphinx. So both of the forearms are on the ground. Chest is lifted here. Gaze is forward. Fingers are spread, almost clawing the mat here. We are smiling, happy yogis. Beautiful. So go ahead and bring those Hands under the shoulders, and we're going to push up into a plank. If you can't do full plank, do the modified plank here, like this, with your knees on the ground, until you build the strength up to push all the way up into plank. We're just going to hold for just a second. If it feels good, you can rock forwards and backwards here. Still breathing. We're not holding or clenching here. We're going to step our right foot up and then our left foot up, coming into our most beautiful forward fold here. Go ahead and interlace opposite elbows and just hang here, rocking side to side. Allowing that spine to hang. It's such a good thing for us. For 30 days, we will do forward folds at least once a day. I think being able to bend over and do simple tasks is something everyone should be able to do, touching the floor, touching their feet. And I hope that this 30 days helps you to get there. Slowly begin to roll up to standing. We're going to come into our most beautiful mountain position. Feet are about hip width apart. Shoulder blades rolled down the back of our back. Chest is lifted. Pelvis is neutral. Eyes are open or closed, whichever you're more comfortable with. And go ahead and inhale those arms up overhead. We're going to do side bends here. So you can grab your left hand and pull over towards the right. Breathing. And now come back to center. Grab your right hand and pull over towards the left. Keeping that chest lifted. No collapsing here. And we're still breathing, no holding or clenching here. And then now back to center. Beautiful. We're going to come over back to the front of the mat, which you probably already there. Interlace the hands behind the back. Pull those shoulder blades together. And we're going to slowly fold down into a forward fold with our hands interlaced. And allowing them to just drop behind us here. And same sort of motion, just swaying gently left to right. We're going to allow the next inhale to come into a halfway lift. So go ahead and uninterlace those hands and find your most beautiful, long, expanded spine here. Straight legs, straight spine, and fold. Plant those hands. We're going to step back into plank, and then we're going to roll back into our first downward facing dog of the day. Beautiful. Go ahead and take your dog on a little walk, dropping that left heel down, right heel lifts, and drop that right heel down and the left heel lifts. Just do this a few times. Get a little stretch through them hamstrings. And if you are feeling the stillness, just come here and find your stillness. We're going to continue to walk the dog out for just a second here. Go ahead and bring the right foot in between the hands. Coming into our runner's lunge here. Before we drop that left knee down, just feel how this feels different. You're feeling this all in that right hip and in the left psoas muscle here. And go ahead and drop that left knee down. We're just going to slowly come up, arms overhead. Little crescent lunge action here. Feels better. You can have your hands on your knee or your leg. And go ahead and push back into our half splits here. So nice. Working on that flexibility so we can be mobile. Nice. Go ahead and roll forward onto that right foot. Tuck the left toes. Put the left hand beside that right foot. Right hand sweeps up towards the sky. Little revolved side angle here. Breathing. Beautiful. Release that hand down and frame that foot. We're going to step back into plank. And then we're going to lower down into chaturanga. If you need to lower your knees, lower them. And we're lower down chaturanga. And then we're going to push up into our upward facing dog. And then we will go back into our downward facing dog. Very nice. Take a deep breath here. And go ahead and step the left foot in between. Same thing as the other side. We're in our runner's lunge here. We're just feeling what this feels like here in this left hip. And that right hip flexor, psoas. And go ahead and drop that right knee down and rise up to our crescent lunge here. Breathe. Feeling this all in that right psoas, those right hip flexors. This is such a nice stretch for us here. And push back into our half splits on this side. Trying to keep that spine nice and long and extended. We're not trying to round here. Nice, Miss Kid. Let's go ahead and roll forward. I want to plant that right hand beside that left foot. Tuck those right toes and send the left arm up towards the sky. Revolved side angle on the side. So beautiful. And frame that foot and step back into our downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a couple of breaths here. You can walk that dog out if that feels good for you. And we're going to slowly come on down to our knees and send them to the side and sit back onto our babies. So we're going to come and find our Savasana boat pose. If you need a block, please grab a block that you can put under your feet to get you lifted. If you have no problem lifting, let's go ahead and start with grabbing the back of our legs. We'll sit it. Spine is nice and tall here. Our feet are pointed. Can't get my words out right today. day number 1. We're just holding here for a second. Okay, if you want a little more, we're going to interlace our hands together. We're going to tap on the right and then tap on the left. We're going to do this 10 times. Keeping our chest lifted, our spine straight. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. We're going to come on down to our backs. We're going to do some bicycles. So, knees are up, shins are parallel with the ceiling. You can interlace those hands and put them behind our head here. And we're just taking our left elbow to our right knee while our left foot extends. This is one bicycle on one side. So we're going to do it on both sides, and I say we can do 20. So we'll start with left elbow to right knee for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, one more, 20. Beautiful. Hug those knees in. You can send your arms out in a T, coming into our reclined twist here. So let's go ahead and drop those knees over to the left. Gaze goes towards the right. You can go ahead and close the eyes down here, allowing your breath to come back to its natural ebb and flow. Inhale, hug those knees in. Arms are still in the T. Drop them over to the right and gaze goes towards the left. Slowly come on back to center. We're going to send the legs out long for Savasana here. Hands are outside of us, palms up, tuck those shoulders. Slight little grin on your face. You're amazing. You dropped in today and you showed up for yourself. I wish that I could give you a reward. I'm hopeful that your body is saying thank you. I appreciate you so much for joining me on this journey of movement for 30 days. You will thank yourself. I promise. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. And as always, I challenge you to stay here in Savasana for as long as you can. I look forward to seeing you back on the mat tomorrow for day 2. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.